Good day for everyone. This is Dr. S.M. Azad, JNU alumnus, on the platform of Shaheen Group of Institutions at Bidar. So, start with what? Start with after a gap of 1 day, that is CUET program. Now, the program is what the topic that is very much important topic from every part of the system, social life, political life and cultural life too. We should come to the point according to the syllabus, the city of Hampi. The city of Hampi. And this city is presently what we can say that it is what it is called nowadays it is a ruined city. So in this section I will discuss the whole significant scenario regarding art architecture and the architectural development during the Vijayanagar Empire. So let's start with Vijayanagar Empire. The topic deal with, you can say, the complete set of Hampi, their development purpose and all the basic condition over there. First and the foremost thing I would like to discuss to you that is what the topic is. What the topic should be known properly with the name of Vijayanagar Empire. Vijayanagar Empire. Vijayanagar Empire. Vijayanagar Empire. Vijayanagar Empire. One thing is very prominent for this empire is the era should be, you can say, 13th to 14th century, and this century onward. By this time, the real founder of this dynasty was Founder of this was Harihara and Bukka. Harihara and Bukka, they were two brothers. Harihara and another brother's name is Bukka. And both of them belong to Tuluva dynasty. Tuluva dynasty. And here you will find the significance of four dynasty. The first one is that the dynasty is Sangama dynasty. Sangama. The second dynasty was Arividu dynasty. The third one was Tuluva, from which the Vijayanagar Empire was established. Suluva, Sangma dynasty, Arividu dynasty, Tuluva dynasty and Saluva. These are the four dynasties flourished during the period of Vijayanagar Empire. This is the complete scenario and history over there. Why we should study the condition arises, why we should study about the Vijayanagar Empire. Why Hampi? Presently the ruined city. Presently it is what? It is a ruined city. And this city was popularized. This city was popularized. This city was popularized and brought out on the globe of world. Because a lot of foreigners has given references about the social, economic political and architectural, apart from that economic value and economic system of that period. That is why it is in the map of whole globe. The dynasty that is known as what Tulu was the major famous part of that, from where the Raja Krishna Dev was the famous ruler of this time. So here what you could say that the Italian also visitors. The visitors were who? The visitors were Italian. The visitors were whom? The visitors were what? They were the Portuguese. The Portuguese were Greeks. Then the person from the Turkish region, Turkish and Arabs, all have been given ample evidence regarding the development of society, the development of economy, the development polity, the development of trade and commerce, the development of, you can see, architectural development by this time. And we find that a composite culture over here. What we find, very significant thing you have to keep in your mind. What is that? Composite culture. A composite culture. And this culture was also known as very liberal culture, rational, liberal. This is the reason why we should study about this section, this part of the system of this society, this part of the system of Vijayanagar Empire. This image shows over the this is the first part I am discussing to you, a timeless marvel. What is that? Hampi city was a ruined city, but it was a timeless marvel, because many architectural development contributed in this region is still very much vibrant, is still very much vigorous, is still very much reveals the social, cultural, economic life of the system. So what is that? Please note it down to Vijayanagar Empire. It was the capital city of this time. Vijayanagar Empire, it was a capital city. It was the capital city of this time. Vijayanagar Empire, the meaning refers to, what is that? The city of victory. Vijayanagar Empire refers to what? Vijayanagar Empire refers to the capital city of this place of this time. Capital city, or you can say victory city, city of victory. It was the name both city and the empire. This is one of the unique thing regarding this one, because this Vijayanagar Empire was very much popular as well as capital, as well as imperial city over there. And it was founded in 14th century. It was founded in 14th century. The famous person was what? It was Harihara and Bukka. And it is straight to the river Krishna. It was located on the bank of river Krishna, and founder was Harihara and Bukka. They were two brothers of Tuluva dynasty, Harihara and Bukka. Harihara and Bukka. Harihara and Bukka. The discovery of Hampi. This is your topic portion, and note it down to from which section or from where the possibility of asking question would be there. As I told you earlier, I am repeating again and again, in one PPT at least minimum 5 questions of MCQ must be there, and maximum of 10 number of questions would be there by this time. So you have to very much alert, and all the bolded line refers from what? The possibility of asking the question over there. So ruined city is Hampi, brought to 1800 by the engineers, antiquarian, Antiquarian, what is that? It was named Colonel Mackenzie. Colonel Mackenzie was antiquarian, means he was a discoverer of antiques. So that is why he was donated by the name of antiquarian. Means John Mackenzie was the major person of this time who discovered this part of the system and threw the light in an open way that could be understood by the people of that time and this time also. So much of the initial information has received based on memory of the priest of whom? Of the Virupaksha temple and the shrine of Padma Devi. Note it down. The information we gather from the memory of the priest of whom? Virupaksha temple, and it was Pampa Devi. Note it down, it was Pampa Devi. So there could be the possibility of second answer question over there. Subsequently, in 1856, the photographer becomes the record to the monument which enabled scholars to study them. So after 1856, especially the contribution of Mackenzie was fantabulous in this part. He has given a lot of photography, he has given a lot of image. Then the story, narrative said by whom? Pampa Devi was also gathered together, and that was coincide to know about the reality, factual and legitimacy of the discovery of this site. That is the important thing. Subsequently, in 1850, the photographers began to discover, and their contribution was fantabulous, undoubtedly. After this, what we see that the reconstruction of the city was it was historical collated. So the historicity, the researches part of discovered over there, that was collated, related with the situation, time, culture and memory, and that led to the idea of justification of the correct time memoriam. And that is why, with the account of foreign travelers and the literature written in Telugu, Kannada, Tamil, Sanskrit, the source of information we find from Telugu literature, then Kannada literature, then Tamil literature, and then Sanskrit literature. Apart from this literature, the role of Mackenzie was also very effective of this part. So this way we could manage to discover about what? The development of the city and system at this time. And here I am showing the image. That is quite remarkable to gather the information more and more from these sites. What we find in 1350, so this is the major town city of Vijayanagar Empire. And Harihara and Bukka, two brothers, founded this city. So what we can say, the connectivity region from the eastern coast and the connectivity region of the western coast was the major landmark for the development of these people. Because all the foreigners came from outside, from Europe to this region, it was the major route of Arabian Sea. It was the major route of what we can say that Arabian Sea. So this was the major section. And in this section, this condition, what? Hampi is also there. Hampi is what? It was a ruined city. And these were the region, from this region expanded by this time. So from the eastern side or the eastern fort or from the western fort, both of them, from both the region we find out the connectivity over here. So all the foreigners who came to this region, and this was the control system of the Madurai city over there. This was the control city of Madurai we find over here. So note it down too. The term is what? The term is Rais, the term is Nayakas, and the term is Sultans. These are the three terms adjudicated by the development of Vijayanagar Empire, or you can the city of Hampi. The Rayas and Nayak, they were the administrator of this time, and they They contributed plenty of time for making the city more glamorous, more enchanting, more you can say collaborative part of that. And that is Hariharan Bukka who founded the Vijayanagara Empire. Note it down too. Harihara and Bukka founded the city of Vijayanagar in 1336, and both of them belongs to Tuluva dynasty. They belongs to whom? Tuluva dynasty. You can find it one question from here for CUET point of view. Second thing, on the northern frontier, the Vijayanagar kings competed with the contemporary ruler, including the ruler of Gajpati, ruler of Odisha ruler, and then fertile river of what? Krishna river, and the resources of lucrative overseas trade. Overseas trade means from the eastern port and the western ports. These ports were famous for what? Lucrative trade and commerce by this time. The ruler of Vijayanagara borrowed the concept of what? Building techniques which they were developed further, and Vijayanagar Empire, they could have borrowed the technique of developing architecture from what? Islamic world or Turkish or Central Asian, you can say Arabs. They developed the techniques by this time, and that is why it was a sense of composite culture we find over there. The ruling elite in this area had extended patronage. So note it down, patronage was one of the significant features. What do you mean by patronage? Means unless until a king or princess could not provide and facilitate them, the art, culture, activity, even the music, dance can't develop. So the patronization means they followed the technique and they gave ample support to the system for developing the idea. That is what it is called patronage. And we find this elaborate temple of Brideshwar temple of Tanjore and Chandeshwara temple at Vellore. We find two temples, Brideshwar temple, this you can find that. This was one of the unique contribution of this temple. And we also find this kind of development, and the development is known as development of Shikhara and Vimana. This is called Shikhar and Viman. The term is known as Shikhar. And another term is what? Viman. The Vijayanagara who called themselves Rais were the position of Vijayanagara Empire. They were the ruling community, they were denoted by the name of Rais. And they have built up the tradition and see the new height. And this way we can see that the new tradition and new development has taken place by the contribution of whom? Rais. Rais basically the ruler of this time, or you can say the lord of this time. They patronized the system. That is the reason why this was patronized by this time. Here is one significant thing we find under the concept regarding this one. Karnataka, you can say Samraj Mu. This is called, while a historian uses the term Vijayanagara Empire, and the contemporary describes is what you can say Karnataka Samrajyu. Karnataka Samrajyu. Another name of this word is Samrajyu. Or here in this temple, the images of the temple shown over here, it is the expanded part of what? Vijayanagara Empire that has been shown in the form or pattern of architectural development. We also find the social system, society and cultural life over there. In this cultural life, Gajpati literally means, you have to note down the terms and means too. Gajpati literally means the lord of the elephant we find. And there were very good horses, good variety of horses, and all the good variety of horses was brought out by the foreigners, you can say, say the region of Arab and the Persian of Samarkand regions too. In the 15th century, the popular tradition of Vijayanagar, Decani Sultan termed as Ashwapati. The Decani rulers had the impact of what? Ashwapati means the person who could control and manage the horse riding, horse activity, that is called Ashwapati. The control of the elephant was denoted by the name of Gajapati, while the control of the horses, the command of the horses was known as Ashwapati. This tradition was taken from the Arab travelers, Arab. And the lord of the horses, what? The Rayas was called, you can say, called Narpati of the Lord men. And the Rayas means the ruler of this system and period. They control the system with the help of, they win the battle with the help of, you can see horse forces, Ashpati kind of things too. That is why this region is known as what we can say, elephant, horses and men. Rise or rise means imperial was here. King and the traders. As you know about that too, that Vijayanagar Empire was very much famous for their cultural composition, the trade, the commerce, the administration, art, architecture, music and dancing was also one of the important facets over there. And a warfare during this time depended on the effective cavalry imported horse, Arabia and Central Asian region, and they were the rival kingdom of this time too. So they developed their horses capability, defense capability with inducting Arabian, then Central Asian horse forces too. This trade was controlled by Arab traders. What I told you, the western city was controlled by mainly whom Arab traders. And the Arab traders were patronized. They have given big respect, they have given big tradition to continue the trading activity. And this trading activity from Western coast to the Central Asia was very flourished during this. This shows about that the maritime activity of the Vijayanagar Empire must have been very strong, must have been very much flourished. Now come to the point now. The merchant communities were also there. They were called Kuderia and Chetti. Note it down. The merchant community of during the period of Vijayanagar Empire, it was called Kuderi and Chetti or horses Monty. They participated. They also participated in the exchanges, means Arabian, and then what we can say in 1498. In 1498 and onward, what we find? The Portuguese we find over there, foreigners, European, who arrived on the western coast of subcontinent, attempting to establish a trading and what? Military station. So the first person who came to this region they were Portuguese. So Portuguese also came to this place. They also developed the tradition of business activity, commercial activity by this time. This way the Arabian culture, this way the Portuguese culture very much, you can say, intervened with the Indian culture society of Vijayanagar Empire. This was the beauty of what? Vijayanagar Empire of this period. Another thing we find over here, their superior military technology, especially used the musket, enabled them to what? Became important players in the Tangled political period. By this time, what we find? Their military technique of the Portuguese or European and Arabs, and the use of musket, you can say it was a kind of loading system or pattern of this time, and that was used for the firing activity too. So they very well equipped with what? Military technique activity, and the major equipment were known as what? That is called musket. Enabled them to what? Became important player in the Tangled political of the period. Tangled political means at this time what we find? Ahmednagar was there, Bijapur was there, Bidar was there. These were infrequently fight with each other. This way, their military technique with the connectivity of the Western country, other country, it was more and more powerful by this time too. Vijayanagara was also noted market dealings in spice, textile and prices. In this image we shown over here is that too, they were also involved with what? Spices and textile production, and precious stone was also the major part of trading activity to the Vijayanagara Empire. Trade were often regarded as a status symbol. The person who were very much strong, wealthy and rich, their status must be recognized by their activities, trading activity like spices, like precious metal, like you can say muslin, like another kind of material over there, like jewelry was also the part of the system, and that was also regulated by the city and town. And this way, the high value exotic goods, especially precious stone and jewelry, was the major tradition of trade and commerce. Boys, you have to ready for that too. What a question may be asked to you, what type of trade activity we are there, you have to answer about that. The exotic goods, especially precious metal, especially spices, especially muslin, that was also one of the important significant thing we find over here. So the one question maybe you have to alert regarding that, what kind of question could be possibly asked to you. The reason behind that, international trade. The reason behind that, Portuguese. The reason behind that, Italian. The reason behind that, Samarkandi. The reason behind that, Central Asian too. This was the major factor. And the factor behind that, what is that? Their western region, western post was very much famous by this time. And they have also have a good navigation capacity by this time. So the revenue derived from the trade turn contributed significant prosperity. And if the question comes to you, what was the reason of prosperity? What were the reason of prosperity? Your answer would be, you could say that the main reason behind prosperity regarding this part of that, trade and commerce was one of the important part. Trade and what type of? It was not at all local trade. The trade was very much internationalized from European, Central Asian, or you can say Arab countries. Now the term noted down too. The term is what? Apogee. Apogee means the peak of the Vijayanagara Empire. The term apogee means peak. Peak of the empire and the decline of the empire. Two things could be discussed to you. The first dynasty known as Sangma dynasty exercised till 1485. Then they were supplanted by the Saluva dynasty military commander who were remained till 1503, when they were replaced by what? Tuluva dynasty, and the famous king of Tuluva dynasty of Raja Krishna Deva Rai, who belonged to Tuluva dynasty. This question may be very much important. Face it over there. Which dynasty ruled for a longer period? Your answer should be Tuluva dynasty. And the Tuluva dynasty denoted by what? Raja Krishna Deva Rai. And Raja Krishna Deva Rai wrote a book in Malayalam. The book is known as Amukta Malyada. Amukta Malyada. This was written in Telugu. And the books reveals the social life, the economic life, the political life, cultural life, even the society very well too. So Raja Krishna was considered to be one of the biggest ruler of this period of this time. The dynasty was known as Tuluva dynasty. This was the important significant feature we find over here. This was the time when between the Tungabhadra and what we can say Krishna Raichur Deva was acquired in 1512, and this is what you can say up to 1520, and finally the Sultan of Bijapur also do invasion by this time, and this way it was very convenient period condition over there, and this is why the reason behind that the Tuluva dynasty king Raja Krishna Deva Rai's contribution was very conducive, and their military was very much also, you could say that it was very much strong of this part. It was very much strong by this part. So it flourished under a condition of unparalleled peace and prosperity. Krishnadeva Rai credited with building of fine temples. This is a contribution of Krishnadeva Rai. He has been contributed to developing fine temples, impressive Gopuram, and the many important Indian temples. In this way, the suburban town of Vijayanagar was Nagalapuram, and Vijayanagar was famous part of the system. Some of the most detailed description we find over here is regarding what? Rai's death. In 1529, his successors were troubled by rebellious Naika or military chief. That is what Nankara system you have to note down to. This was a significant role for the downfall of UK Vijayanagar Empire. The Aravidu also has taken place in the 17th century. And finally, the alliance of Sultanate against the Vijayanagar Empire. The alliance what? The alliance of what? The alliance of what? Bidar, 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 Gulbarga, other city. So two things I am going to discuss to you. One is what? Naika system. Naika system. Another one is Gopuram. Other one is what? Gopuram. Gopuram is what? It was a kind of decoration. What exactly? This is a kind of decoration. And the building decoration in a form of Gopuram means a very good kind of decoration. That was the entry portion of the system. This was the major root of architectural development of Vijayanagar Empire. And this was a specific nature, a specific culture of what? Southern India. This is called Gopuram. And the second thing, Naika. Naika is what? It is also called Nankara system. Nankara system. This was a system based on politico-administrative and socio-economic pattern. And you can correlate with the system of what? Feudalism. And this was the major cause of the downfall of Vijayanagar Empire, because all of them feudals, and they have taken the military economic power over there. That is why it has fallen. So thank you, Bacho. Thank you for you too. I'll come you tomorrow in a big vibrant way regarding Vijayanagar Empire, the trade, commerce, the architecture, the temple development. Thank you very much and have a good day.